Oh no, Stephen Hawking finally got kicked off Epstein's island, and it's not the way you think he did.
This is not optimal. Requesting assistance immediately. I am not waterproof.
As of course, I have so many questions about what in the world Stephen Hawking was doing on Epstein Island. As of course, the questions now keep getting even more numerous and mysterious, as Donald Trump says that he feels badly for Prince Andrew, that is accused of some very horrible activities, according to the late Virginia Roberts Giuffre. As of course, he's stepping down from a lot of the royal positions where he threw very crazy parties at and had particularly very interesting aides to help him with his performance there, as well as hosting the likes of course, Harvey Weinstein and many others like Kevin Spacey. It's a big old gathering, as of course it's a big old club and you're not in it. As Bloomberg today just revealed this article titled "Following Epstein's Money," specifically looking into some of the financial transactions, some of the emails that were going on here that of course point a picture of foreign intel agency involvement here. As of course, Epstein was also involved in the Syrian civil war. He was also involved with China. He was also involved with, of course, Mossad and other intel connections here. As of course, he was advising JP Morgan about their China strategy. What in the world's going on here? Well, we're going to do our best to talk about it. As of course, we've been talking about this story for 15 years. And if you appreciate our efforts to talk about this particular story for that long, facing a lot of censorship and a lot of downranking and demonetization and outright down and dirty attacks against us for not giving up on this particular topic, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time you spend with us on this particular channel. Now, I think the last time we talked about Epstein, we talked about how we found out that he was involved in anti-gravity tech and startups. He was also pitching an Intel private company community with Ehud Barak that also was being accused of very horrible, awful things from Virginia Roberts Giuffre, whose new memoir came out. And it looks like she was pinpointing the former Prime Minister of Israel directly when it comes to some very abusive, horrible actions and activities that largely the general public was like, oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me here, as now Buckingham Palace announced that Prince Andrew will be evicted away from the royal residences. Oh no! Poor man! As of course, are you kidding me? I mean, this guy has been a welfare queen subsidized by the British tax dollars. And now, after so many years, after just now, Virginia Roberts on postmortem details of her events is finally released in a book. Now he finally loses his titles. Now he's known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Doesn't roll off the tongue as Prince Andrew does, or Prince. Excuse me. As right now, Donald Trump was asked about this. Now this is bewildering. Donald Trump's comments are bewildering. Donald Trump's activities around this are bewildering, and it just becomes more bewildering when he now says he feels badly for. I don't feel badly for the prince. The royal family has been caught in controversy after controversy doing horrible, illicit, illegal things. I mean, these blue bloods, these royal family members are always involved in conspiracies, always involved in some of the worst type of horrific, salacious, incredulous type of actions that you can't even fathom. I mean, Jimmy Savile was running around, the necrophiliac guy. Yeah, he was running around. He was like, oh yeah, here's our royal family guy. Here he is. Predator after predator, victim after victim. And Trump showing sympathy towards Prince Andrew. What are you doing, bro?
Prince Andrew in the UK has had his royal titles stripped away because of the Epstein.
Prince Andrew had his royal title stripped away.
Scandal. I know you're close to the royal family there. Do you have any
I know you're close to the royal family.
I feel very bad.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Quote Trump, I feel
badly. I mean, it's a terrible thing that's happened to the family. That's been a tragic situation.
horrible thing that happened to the family. It's a horrible thing what happened to the victims. It's a tragic thing what happened to the victims.
And it's too bad. I mean, I feel badly for the family.
Are you still planning to meet with Jensen Wang?
You feel... how? Why? The family suffers just like anyone does during a terrible relatives. People are kind of saying here. Again, with there being many victims here, with Virginia Roberts meeting her kind of end here, regardless of whatever you might think about that. That's a whole convoluted, crazy story, by the way. Virginia Roberts, in her unofficial kind of post-mortem autobiography, talks about how her father hurt her as a child. The father denies that, does wrestle that. She wasn't doing the best with mental health. Obviously, it's pretty clear. People who go through a lot of abuse usually aren't mentally well. The question remains, as the father says, he doesn't believe his daughter took her own life. Other people believe that she did. And it's a whole weird, convoluted mess here. But out of the case and scenario here, Prince Andrew, who previously was seen in these photos with Trump, again, they weren't close buddies. Like they were just like, oh yeah, here he is. Here's Prince Andrew. Here, take a photo. I mean, I feel very little sympathy, especially after all the lies, especially after this man telling us that he can't sweat. And because he can't sweat, therefore he's innocent. I don't feel bad for the British police that never investigated any aspect of of this particular story, as now we're finding out that Fergie is also set to leave Andrew alone, as the two now have separated and are living at different royal lounges. As Sarah Ferguson will leave Prince Andrew, who will live on his own after the two demanded two separate royal properties so they could live apart with their family, as they leave the royal lounge after 20 years, as Fergie has lived with her disgraced ex-husband in their 30-room grade 2 listed mansion since 2008. Oh, the horrors. But it's understood that they may have finally moved on amid scrutiny over ties to Epstein. Yeah, that would do it. Epstein cost a lot of marriages. I mean, you look at what happened with Bill Gates. Bill Gates' wife came out, one of the richest women in the world. Kind of funny how you look at the richest women in the world. A lot of them are divorcees. Anyway, I digress. She came out and says Bill Gates wouldn't stop hanging out with Epstein, so I had to divorce him. She drew the line. As of course, we're getting some other details here. As we know, this is a famous photo of Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Harvey Weinstein. We also know Kevin Spacey. They were all hanging out at the Royal Lodge. We know there's a lot of infamous photos of them hanging out here. The Queen hanging out here, the same type of background, the same type of photos. The Daily Mail today talks about how there was a lot of S-aids and other additives for adults to do certain things that royal aides had to provide, that Andrew threw when they were doing parties with Epstein and Maxwell, as there's a lot of different weird stuff. And it gets even weirder now when we have this Bloomberg article here that reads, "Following Epstein's Money." This is a big article, and they have some new emails. We're going to go over that. But before we do, we just quickly wanted to remind you, check out thebestpoliticalshirts.com, where you can get a shirt like the one that I'm wearing right now. My shirt here, great to wear at your local bank. It says banker. Noun, ruthless scumbag who will eat your lunch and then charge you for it. I do a lot of networking, social events where I'm just like, oh, hey, what's your name? I wear this shirt. Oh, you're a banker. Hilarious. You want to find it? You should be able to type in banker right here. Yep, type in banker right here into the search bar, and then bada bing, bada boom. If you have a relative, if you have a family member that is a banker, this is the time to get the shirt. It's going to be up in the making of this particular video, and it's a great way to get under their skin and have a very interesting conversation. So far, I think our hottest selling shirt so far this month is our I Survived the 2025 EBT riots. Also another great one. Again, we like to make people laugh. We like to make people smile. And this is the way to do it in a kind of confrontational but non-confrontational, lazy form of activism type of way where you get to kind of express your thoughts and opinions. And it's like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I think. And people will either love that or hate that, but this is how you get to know people. Social currency, extremely important. As right now, let's just get back into it. Of course, Epstein knew about this social currency, and he had a lot of it. He had a lot of it with some very powerful, nefarious, big people. As Bloomberg, in their piece, writes, federal prosecutors opened a financial crime investigation into Jeffrey Epstein in 2007 amid their larger S-trafficking probe. Epstein was moving billions of dollars, by the way. Billions, not millions, billions. That's a lot of money for a private individual who a lot of people don't know how they got his money. He's like, how do you get his money? He's like, Wall Street. You go to Wall Street. Hey, you know Epstein? He's like, I don't know Epstein. Hey, Epstein, who? We don't know anyone. As quote, the financier legal team waged the war against them, his emails show. Federal prosecutors expanding their probe into Jeffrey Epstein. And again, their probe was very narrow in 2007. Their investigations, their search warrants were very oddly, extremely detailed to where, if there was even other proof and other evidence, they were like, oh yeah, we can't do it. It's not in the search warrant. We can't really look into any of that. As they were looking into money laundering allegations. And of course he was money laundering. He wasn't even following any kind of the rules and regulations like most people were. Big banks settled with the victims, by the way. A lot of money was handed over. As the lead prosecutor, quote, requested that a grand jury issue a subpoena for every financial transaction conducted by Epstein. Now, there are financial records that the government has not yet released. Dating all the way back in 2003. Epstein has been active for a very long time. The emails show prosecutors also subpoenaed major banks for records about Epstein's accounts and financial activity, according to two people familiar with the matter who asked not to be identified to discuss the sensitive investigation. Marie Villanueva, who was an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida at the time, even contacted Epstein's longtime wealth manager client Les Wexner, the billionaire businessman behind the brands Victoria's Secret, Bath, and Body Works about the investigation, according to the documents. Epstein grew furious when he learned the prosecutors had broadened their investigation scope. The email shows his high-powered team of lawyers, including Gerald Leftcourt, Harvard Law School professor Alan Dershowitz, former Bush administration lawyer Jay Letkovitz, and former independent counsel Kenneth Starr, argued that Villanueva was pursuing baseless claims to pressure their clients into a plea deal. They launched an aggressive campaign to discredit her attempts to follow the money and pressured her higher-ups to remove her and others from the case or scuttle the case entirely. Yeah, there was also a lot of demand letters being like, you want access to the royal family? You're the corporate media. You better stop talking about Epstein now. And then a lot of the corporate media did. They bowed down here. We got another article here from Bloomberg released the same day. Jeffrey Epstein was investigated for money laundering, emails reveal. Federal prosecutor requested that a grand jury issue subpoenas for every financial... Again, there are financial records. The FBI, the U.S. government, the DOJ, they have these financial records. As right now, there are, quote, drip releases of Jeffrey Epstein's emails account that are starting to be revealed here. As there is also a discharge petition that a lot of people believe is being stalled and expanded through the government shutdown. An entire huge waste of Republican congressional leadership that has been pathetic. Again, we have the House, we have the Senate. The Republicans have the majority. And we're not doing anything. And according to a lot of people, we're not doing anything. We have this government shutdown, not just because the Democrats are fighting back, but because the Trump administration doesn't want the discharge petition to go through that Thomas Massie is putting forward with, saying this batch confirms a buried federal money laundering investigation that could have brought Epstein and his powerful enablers down for good. Yeah, once you start looking into the money, where it's going, all the victims, all the money that's being moved here, you start seeing a bigger picture here. As of course here you see a picture of Ehud Barak with Vladimir Putin. We have drop site news reporting Jeffrey Epstein and the Mossad how the S trafficking helped Israel build a, quote, back channel to Russia amid Syrian civil war. Hacked emails show how Jeffrey Epstein and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak tried to engineer a Russian-led solution to remove Bashar al-Assad. Why is Jeffrey Epstein trying to get rid of Bashar al-Assad? Who wanted to get rid of Bashar al-Assad? The CIA, the Saudi Arabians, the Israelis, the Turkish. Who was Epstein working with directly? Ehud Barak, the Prime Minister of Israel. Who would benefit from the removal of Bashar al-Assad the most? Turkey, Israel, Saudi Arabia. Who would benefit the least? Russia, Iran. Again, wild, crazy situation unfolding here. As, of course, a lot of people are saying these emails confirm the Mossad connection. Now, they don't say that. There are connections with the former Israeli Prime Minister, Ehud Barak, that also is accused in Virginia Giuffre's book as the horrible prime minister that assaulted and hurt her in unspeakable ways. Now, there's also secret back channels between Israel and Russia during the Syrian civil war. It's pretty crazy that Epstein was planning a meeting with with Vladimir Putin. What? As, of course, between 2013 and 2016, Epstein advised Barak on messaging on the Kremlin, coordinated with Israel intelligence contacts, and used his elite network to shape U.S. and Russian policy debates over Syria and Iran. Their collaboration, revealed by a trove of Barak's emails hacked by Handala, also advanced Barak's global business ventures and Israeli security goals. Through their efforts failed to unseat Assad, it deepened covert ties between Moscow and Tel Aviv. What in the world is going on here? As, of course, it looks like Epstein was also advising and using geopolitical intelligence for America's largest bank and executives. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Epstein, who already was a convicted S offender, was advising JP Morgan on China strategy. This guy's known for throwing parties and providing small children to people. Also working on anti-gravity tech. Also working on a eugenics operation, trying to impregnate 30 women at a time. Also working on the Syrian civil war, trying to overthrow Syria for the benefit of a Russian-led coalition in the region. Also advising JP Morgan on China. I think it's pretty clear. As he's able to move billions of dollars around, I think it's pretty clear. No one knows where the money came from. I think it's pretty clear. The guy was Intel asset. Ding, 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 ding. Old news. Yeah. That's pretty much what was happening here. Newly unsealed emails show Jeffrey Epstein provided geopolitical intelligence to America's largest banks, and executive reported back like assets to a handler. This is just wild. Court documents unsealed on October 31st revealed something that transforms our understanding of Jeffrey Epstein. Between 2009 and 2010, by the way, he was already a convicted S offender by the time. While he was a registered S offender, Epstein provided detailed strategic advice to JP Morgan Chase executive on China market expansion. Then those same executives, including Jess Stanley, CEO of JP Morgan Investment Bank, reported back to him about meetings with some of China's most powerful officials. It's not every day a major U.S. bank consults with a convicted S abuser about relations at the highest level of the Communist Party, but it's a key piece of evidence we found in a trove of just unsealed Epstein files. In the emails, Epstein functions more like an intelligence handler than a billionaire investment advisor. In October 2029, Epstein sent Stanley a multi-paragraph memo on China strategy. The guidance covered entirely structure for China's markets, regulatory navigation, cultural protocols, and government relations. Epstein wrote about face-saving in Chinese culture, how to approach treasury officials, and the importance of demonstrating long-term commitment through demonstration projects rather than just proposals. He advised creating a dedicated China entity with its own board of advisors that would have independent oversight while respecting Chinese cultural sensitivities. Wow! And these are the emails that were revealed here. This is big here. This is pretty huge here. As, of course, a lot of people are saying Jamie Dimon has some big explaining to do about Epstein. Now, will he actually explain anything? I mean, holy cow. I mean, the picture. Again, this is why I told you guys, when it comes to Epstein, We only know like 5% now, right? We don't know everything, but we know 5%. What else was Epstein involved in? I mean, the guy literally had Ghislaine Maxwell in submarines with him. It's like, oh yeah, she was a helicopter pilot too. And they flew in the same airplane that the CIA left to fly in because it was able to not depressurize the cabin and open the hatch mid-flight, and then throw stuff for people out. Oh yeah, what a coincidence! Just a normal guy, no extortion operation, nothing to see here, totally took himself out. Get a shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. I love you guys. I want to be here for you guys doing that, and this is why I love you guys maybe more. Stay tuned for more all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.